I want to talk about dating men with kids. You should have standards and boundaries around dating men with kids. For me, I do not date men who have children under 5. I was talking to a guy one time and he had full custody of his daughter. She was a bit older, she was like 8, but he was telling me about his previous relationship. And he was telling me how this woman potty trained his daughter because for whatever reason, the mother is away. Her biological mother, she not been in the picture, which is why he has full custody, and raised his daughter, and she had her own children as well. Broken up, and he was just upset with her, and he told me, oh, she just used me, she didn't do anything for me. And I'm like, hold up, she didn't you just tell me she potty trained your daughter? I'm like, wow, like this is crazy. So this is why I do not date guys who have children under 5, because you're going to become the one, especially if you're a woman like me who do not have children. You're now going to have to take care of a small child, and I don't mind dating men with kids. I do have a limit on how many kids on how many kids you can have, but I don't mind dating men with kids. But under 5, no, absolutely not, absolutely not. And a man has a child with a woman who is that small, it's just too soon for both mother or father to be dating with a child that small. The focus should be on the child. It shouldn't be dating. Like like your child is 2. How are you dating and focusing on being in another relationship when you have a newborn baby? A lot of men may have like fallen out with the mother of their child, so they're kind of just looking for a rebound, but they're still emotionally attached to the mother of their child. So that's a boundary that I have. Also, with dating, I pay attention to how these men are relating to the children that they have. I dated a guy, he was Russian, he was from Russia, living in Miami now. On different occasions, I kind of asked him, like, oh, how long have you been living here? And he told me he was living in Miami for 2 years. And another conversation, I kind of pieced it together. And I was kind of like, oh, your daughters, because he told me he had daughters. He had 2 daughters. One was 5, and the other was like 7 or 9. And I was like, okay, have they been to Miami? And he was like, no. And so in another conversation, I was like, when's the last time you've been back to Russia? It was since he left, like 2 years ago. So I'm like, oof, you have small children like that. You haven't seen them in 2 years. That didn't sit well with me because I like a family man, you know what I mean? And on a particular date, he had told me he was talking about his girls, and the 5-year-old, he was kind of like talking down on her and saying like how she had attitude and she acted like her mother. And I was just like, wow, for you to sit here and talk about a 5-year-old like that, and also just like a 5-year-old that has your DNA, like your daughter, who hasn't seen you since she was like 3 because he hasn't seen her in 2 years. I was like, I don't think it's going to work for me. Ladies, it's very important to figure out what type of relationship that these men have with their children, especially daughters, especially daughters. Having kids that young and then separating from the mother, you really need to figure out if this man is just, leaving women that he's having children with. And this guy told me he wanted to marry me. He told me he wanted me to move in with him. And for me, it's like, how can you do that when you don't even have a relationship with your daughters? And he was spending money on me, like on dates and stuff like that. And I'm like, you can use that money to catch a flight to go see your girls back in Russia. You know what I mean? So ladies, you always have to pay attention